for 1 second. Okay. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you for watching here on YouTube Live at Blooming Light at Blooming Strive. And if you're watching live, but if you're watching at a later time and date, disclaimers out the way. I do not consent to fuckery. I do not consent to harassment, insults, gang stalking, baneful workings. I do not consent to malicious, malevolent sorcery. I do not consent to organized criminality. I do not consent to noise, psychological warfare tactics. I do not consent to any such military or police tactics being utilized on me illegally. I do not consent to projections, jealousy, hatred, any form of intrusion in my energy, my son's energy, our space, and our reality, including this live reading. I do not consent to any courting, attachment, siphoning via passive, aggressive, or ritual work, conscious or unconscious. I do not consent to destiny swapping. I do not consent to parasitical vampiric energies leeching onto me, my son, our life, our space, and reality, or the collective in this reading whatsoever. And any continual attempts to violate me and my life will be met with the severest punishment possible. And so it is. Now, this reading is on behalf of the collective, the Honorable Feminines, that is coming out in the wash, and it is going to continue to come out in the wash, that a lot of what you have been enduring was nothing to do with what it appeared to be, okay? What people were talking and saying, what was being implied. This was actually human under demonic and entities and whatever you want to call it, mental illness, under those influences, using their money, their connections, their resources, their positions, and their power to essentially harass you behind the scene, okay? To hide their hand, so to make these honorable feminists look like they were just lost, loose cannons under the judgment of God, getting bad karma for being a horrible person, in which these people are and have been horrible to them, okay? And also to make it seem like somebody's spell work was so super powerful that it created something. And if their spell work was as powerful, the collective has had that done to them. But if these people's spell work in and of itself alone, hear me out, in and of itself, by itself alone, was as powerful as they were claiming it to be in terms of ritual works, okay, then they wouldn't have had to partner it up with physical acts of, psychological warfare tactics that's used in the government and the military. They wouldn't have had to pair it up with, using their leverage, connections, and people that they know, calling in favors and placing this one here and synchronizing this there and telling the upstairs people to be the noisemaker and telling this one to be rude and insulting. And they wouldn't have had to go to that length if their spell work was that powerful. If their spell work was that powerful, it would have done the job Now here's the point of where we're going with this reading. I've always said that spell work is beyond what we think it is anyway. Okay? High-level manipulation is sorcery. These individuals are using these military tactics and wizardry and all these psychological, use the flicker of lights and sounds and, buzzwords, and they're using, that's a tactic. That ain't nothing powerful in and of itself. Those are tactics used. Okay? Those are just tactics. And gossip is spell work. Smear campaigns is spell work. All of that because it is designed to obscure the truth and to bend people's will and people's choices, if you will, in a certain direction. Okay? So these, depending on what groups that they landed in, if they were in the spiritual community, then they wanted to make it look like, the Honorable Feminine was getting karma. She was the karmic, and she was getting karma because of a badass team and a badass spell work. If they're on the religious side of it, then, the fake religious, then it was kind of like, this is the judgment for leaving the path of the Lord. And And this is happening because, they started playing with them tarot cards. The bitch themselves been playing with tarot possibly before her, or, you know what I'm saying? They've been into it, you know what I'm saying? Into more darkness, because tarot is not darkness in itself. It's the beholder and what's done with all that that determines all of that. Okay. So that was what the talk has been. So as people watched, people that are ignorant, people that are either in the religious sector and, are ignorant to stuff, or people that are in the spiritual sector and ignorant to stuff, and or people who had it out for the Honorable Feminine. So those three groups is what was used, okay, as people looked at what was going on because they hid their hands. So let me give an example. If it was family, then they did something like, well, we don't know where they are. They're gone. We haven't talked to them since, blase, which is lies. They have been stalking, following, and talking to all these various people in where the collective has been in order to hire them to do this stuff. But they did it to hide their hand, okay? Because the Honorable Feminine wouldn't have thought it was their family in the physical sense, because the Honorable Feminines have been moving all over the place to try to get away from those that they knew had been toxic to them. So the only thing left for the Honorable Feminines to believe was that, okay, of course, the spell work, as well as, the spell work and stuff like that, and, curses and things put on them. So that's what they were left to believe initially, because it's like, well, I left my toxic family, as an example, I left my toxic family in Nevada. I left my toxic family in California. I left and I got away for a reason. No, even the Honorable Feminine didn't think that initially that it was going to go as far as to follow her wherever state that she went. She should have known, though, because she knew that at least one of her siblings and one of her so-called parents was extremely obsessed and jealous. She knew that. Okay? She just didn't know how far that would go. She knew that they would do spell work. She knew that they were into, that they were a part of secret little groups and cults that they didn't want nobody to know. Okay? And that they were possibly working for like the dark ops, corrupt government. But she did not know no, they traveling and shit, bitch. They talking to bitches and niggas all up in the state. They talking to motherfuckers at Beaumont Housing Authority. They're talking to you know, the landlords. They're talking to some of these residents. They're talking to, and this is how deep this stuff has gone. And then it morphed and spread to, you know, when the people started losing, they started getting pissed, and this thing, then it blew up and morphed into all sorts of other things here because they didn't get what they thought, or the plan did not fully flourish in. Okay? The funny thing is, these motherfuckers was never gonna get the fullness. And that's what they get, though, for being willing to do stuff, okay, for money. Toxic stuff for money, okay? So as I prepared, we have karmics are being dumped and turned down. We still have the name Sheila, and we're gonna get a few more names that could possibly be involved. At the bottom of this deck, we have Death and Six of Swords, okay? And then Two of Wands in the reverse. Okay. Yeah, they pay people to cause endings for the Honorable Feminine, to come for them when they had no choices, to put them in situations and roadblocks, okay, to limit and restrict their choices when they didn't have options to do certain things to them, to cause endings. Even possibly to sabotage something through travel, to wear them out, to make them sad, okay, to make it seem like they're crazy, to, you know, to make, to steal from them, to make them sad, to reject them, to take from them, to basically throw the relationships away. They basically pay people to do that, to go in and betray. They pay people to call them crazy. They pay people to attempt to create that with the psychological warfare, to create that with the military and governmental, you know, war tactics. With the sound, with the stalking, with the all of those little things, the flashing lights, with people following you around with weird snickers on their face like they're the fucking people from the movie Smile 1 and 2. Like they're the fucking, you know what I'm saying, children of the corn bitches and niggas. Anywho. Weird. Okay, so let's get a little bit more and see what we have here. Let's see if there's some more names. Is this the names? Oh. So we have Sheila, we have Eric, Lord have mercy. We've got Josh, we've got Shanika, we've got Tanya. Angel number 888. This is a masculine that said, I would love to get an opportunity to know you. You're exquisite. Ciao. Christine. Bad news, bad news, bad news. They paid people to create bad news, bad news, bad news in the Honorable Feminine's life to make it look like they were under judgment. To make it look like they were under the judgment of the Lord or under some kind of karma. And what happened was, once the Honorable Feminine had started getting too many good newses, this was creating a problem, so they had to amp up the strategy. So case in point, if the Honorable Feminine got into a better environment, got their children into a better environment, and that wasn't supposed to happen. Let's say the Honorable Feminine got a job and stuck with the job and even got promoted on a job. That wasn't supposed to happen. Let's say the Honorable Feminine started, you know, being able to take care of themselves and their children a lot better. That wasn't supposed to happen. And so since that happened, they had to amp up paying more and more people to basically harass and create destruction in these environments. So in other words, neighbors, the environments in which they or their children have to spend majority of their time. So they started paying people to be disruptive, be rude and snappy to this disabled young man, you retarded whore. Okay? Put shit on their door like you're some weird spooky lady from Fatal Attraction and Single White Female and shit. Be an unnecessarily loud manager on something that shouldn't even fucking matter. Because you all are trying to micromanage this person's movement. You need to see everything. You need access that you don't fucking need to have. Walk your dog every time they walk theirs. Go take out the trash every time. Synchronize amongst buildings. There's several people that's under the scope right now because they were willing to participate in the shit. I hope they're enjoying their life. Their short time. Okay, Roy. Okay, ancient wisdom. Yeah, this is something to do with ancient wisdom. Neo effect, masculines that was trying to wake up, high vibe soul connections forming. This is the stuff that these people did not want for feminine, so they have had to amp up, and this is something that is becoming evident to investigators, possibly to extended family, you know, people you grew up with. It's becoming evident that it was things behind things in your life designed to make you look fickle, crazy, unstable, and it was all a plot. Good gracious God. Because you're down to earth yet classy and elegant, you were starting to get restoration chi, life force energy, enjoying your new authentic self, and they couldn't handle that, baby. They couldn't handle that, baby. Okay, so they amped up project behind the scene, because if anybody look, you're not gonna see your mother, your father, your sister and brother. They across, they in another town, they in another state. But they pay people because they've been stalking you and following. And they connected with trash in these places, and it's a whole lot of that to do. A whole lot of that that's available. All too excited to participate. Okay. Telekinesis, moving things in other locations. You could have had an increase from 2023 or 2024. Something could have started 2023 and it ended up wrapping into like maybe a $10,000 annual increase. They didn't expect, and this was a monkey wrench in the game. It was a monkey wrench in the game. So they had to get into military tactics. They had to amp up their military tactics. They had to, their government, you know, law training. Yes, sir. This is all coming out in the wash. This is starting with your family, 444, why people were attacking you and people around you and attacking your environments. It's coming out that's why most of you have moved around. And it's coming out that these people were moving around, you know, let's say remotely to fuck with you. But one of the ways they disguise that is like, we don't even know. We don't know. We haven't even talked to them. We don't talk to them. We don't know where they're at, bitch, nigga, please. Your ass, your criminal ass. Yes, the fuck, bitch. Yes, the fuck, you criminal hoe. You criminal. It's in your bones. You can't transform it because it is you, nigga. But back to what I'm saying. Yeah. Because these people be in, see, you got to think about it. See, this is going to come out. They have these positions of power. They be in real estate, mortgage. Huh? They travel the U.S. Huh? Some of what's going to come out is these hoes was lying about why they were traveling and what they were doing while they're traveling because they are stalker, bitch. They had a retards, them and their fucking retards. They're degenerate motherfuckers. Okay, look. So y'all have been working on your credit, whoop. Some of y'all could have been working on a lot of stuff because you're you're a victim. The collective is a victim of identity theft in so many realms and levels. Okay? Energetically, spiritually, and literally. Because these people don't have no fucking boundaries. They're narcissists by full definition. Okay? They have access to your shit. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to set you up. They're trying to entrap you up, of course. Okay, boom. Guess the retards are finished, spending their county check. Yeah, they didn't like that honorable feminine is creative, fun, thoughtful, and kind. A masculine's karmic friends getting exposed. He done with them too. Ooh. No, okay. Ooh. No protection, no safety, disowned by their ancestors. Ooh, child. They are going to be disowned. They're crazy. They're crazy. Mental illness. John. Gina. New job opportunities. Yeah, you guys could have got some new job opportunities. Like I said, you could have bypassed what was, kind of spoken. And that posed a problem. You were supposed to be, a good for nothing, lazy slacker that didn't want to do nothing. Because that's the story. Okay, which is essentially true of them. Another video. So when you all outshone a lot of people, it's like, really? And see, they were doing all of that same shit at the same time. And so it's like, oh, wait a minute, where is the dark, distorted witches and hoes and niggas at this place so we can go ahead and... Ooh, child. Wait. How can we get in so we can start calling and getting their energy? What? Wait. Yes, sir. And they needed all this to make you, the collective, look some kind of way. Okay, and this is coming out. It's a good news to this, because this reading is leading to, it's just a reveal. And this is what's about to happen to all these people. And they can circle around Northwest Parkway, Old Dowling Road, 100,000 times. Beaumont, Texas, 777 77706. They can do that 1,000 times. It ain't gonna change their fucking fate. They can get all the diapers and put human adult shit in it and do 30 spells on it. And walk their fat ass up and down the grass all the fuck they want. They ain't gonna change shit. It ain't gonna change what's inevitable for them. They paid people to torture honorable feminine. These are some of the tactics. Thoughts, walking in circles and shit with they dolls and they coochie mama pink shorts and shit. Niggas that look like they didn't smoke themselves out good and plenty. Ain't gonna change shit. Here's the thing. These people got upset because it says it's getting easier to read people's true energy. They were upset that this was something that Honorable Feminines has started mastering. And so once again, this is why they started doing the psychological warfare games. Veronica, total soul retrieval. Capricorn, they didn't like that you were gaining friendly, it says a soulful, friendly conversation with kind and enjoyable, lovely people. That this is true of you. And maybe you were starting to, you know what I'm saying? And oh my gosh, that's the apocalypse. Good gracious God, pitch the smudge. Oh my God. Anywho, Hyoka, impact game changer. Somebody is Hyoka. Okay, look into it. I don't want to stay stuck on that. That's some badass shit. That's all I'm going to tell you is good luck. Because if there's any energy that has the capacity to flip and ricochet and mirror trash, it's a Hyoka. Without losing themselves, without becoming that shit. Pam, angel number 1111. Heartfelt, authentic belly laughs. They didn't like that, y'all could have, shit. Honorable feminine, you probably funny and shit. Huh? Ain't that sad that people be mad at that? That's, wow, man. They just want you to be somewhere vegetated in a catatonic state in order for them to feel like not losers. I swear that's what I believe. Yeah. People may find you funny. They may want it to stop your laughter. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's laugh. That's so sad. Handsome, rugged, raw, and real. Okay. Okay. Well. Huh? What is this? Huh? Where you at? Where you at, masculine? Shit. Where you at? Honorable masculine? Because there's maybe one in the universe. Okay? And then I said one. That's sad. Anyway. This is for you. This is for you. So you up in this. You up in this too. Shit, who is handsome and where? Okay, legal courts ruling in your favor. Oh, see, here it is. Feminine. See, shit, people start getting more and more pissed the more shit you start knocking down. Okay, they wanted to make you go crazy, look crazy, and push you out of some shit. The shit did a somersault, uno, reverse, skip, draw two, draw four, reverse, backspace, you know. and your ass, it turned in your favor. Okay, and it's like, well, god damn it, son of a bitch, motherfucker. Well, you shouldn't have been trying in the first place. Now what you done and done set this feminine up to whoop all your asses good and plenty, because now you done set them up to have good and plenty, enough time to do it. You done set them up to have good and plenty time to recoup, rest, to go within, to draw shit, get the hanger and stand outside and point it to the to be like, shit, niggas, go gadget, what the fuck is this? And now they done crap this shit. All because, well, that was dumb, huh? This could also be indicative of what's to come. Okay, because some of you all are being guided to sue the hell out of these motherfuckers. So bad to where they only want to be here no more. Okay, to have them tied up in legality so long, so fucked, so bad. Okay, they should have fucked with you. Natural healer, healing. Okay, this is what people could have hated about you or even felt entitled to on some way. Financial miracles and grace. Maybe they didn't like that, you know, or they trying to block that from you. They didn't like your joy, joy, bliss, bliss. You no longer feel you miss. These people could have wanted you feeling left out and rejected. And you, at some point, you're like, nigga, 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 nigga. This shit right here, you know, when you get to that phase, it's like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not fitting that storyline for you. No. Started finding joy and respect. Yeah, people would put some spec on your name. Okay? They can say what they want, but you ain't nobody's goddamn pushover. Okay? You're going to say what the hell, even if it's professional. Because see, saying what you got to say don't mean you got to be ghetto fabulous. It don't mean you got to be rolling your neck. It don't mean you got to be loud and popping gum. Saying you can be very eloquent, neutral, and calm, and still that thing still be a sword and carry weight that you can't deny. Okay? Now, put some spec on the collective. It says healthy boundaries. These people didn't like this about you. How dare you? What do you mean boundaries? We have more money than you. Albeit we stole it. We have more money than you, albeit it was handed to our asses. We ain't shit, this shit was handed to our ass. We have more money than you. We look better than you, although a surgeon helped us to get here. Okay, balance of all the elements: earth, water, fire, air. So you're a master, alchemist, working on these things. These people didn't like that this is something that you were doing in spite of. So I think what happened is the fact that other shit started happening, there's going to be a revelation to people or some proof that, no, this is sabotage. There's somebody doing stuff. They didn't like the seeing that this lady didn't need. Now one of they retarded asses. They didn't like that because that did not go along with the stories that they've been telling everybody. They didn't like that. Superpowers, child. Let me let that one. Damon, Nick, 222, youthing effect. All right, feminine, you may be much older, okay? Because whatever reason why this seemed to be coming out, you might be way older, okay, then you appear. And I'm not talking about just when you're like made up, because of course we can all make ourselves up. I get that. But it could be just something about your energy, either your aura, your genetics, it's something. There's something that causes you appear. Your ass should be, shit, we finna to be half a century, bitch. And this motherfucker, anyway. Yeah. It's even shocking for me to say that out loud. It's like, good gravy, God, yes. Good gravy. What the hell, nigga? Anyway, Kelly, could just be, sometimes it's an energy about you, you know what I mean? It's not always necessarily physiological. Okay? So we got our backdrop, we got some names. Thelma, Elena, Kayla. Who's Kayla? Got E a couple times. Stephanie, not Durrell. Who is this? Darnell, Matt, Roxanne, Steven, Shane. Oh Lord. You're funny. People love your sense of humor. Okay. So, Sheila, Eric, Josh, y'all got the names, huh? Shanika, Tanya, Christine, Roy. Something about your ancient wisdom. There is a masculine that's like waking up, and it's also a masculine that's somewhere pissed or was somewhere pissed. Oh, it's people don't believe me until it's too late. It's fun and games, it's laughter, it's pillow talk, it's hee, it's ha, it's Toyota jump, we're the champion, and no time for losers, we're the champion song. It's all these things for a long time, even with some of these men, up until he gets sorely betrayed, up until he's taken to the brink where he's done. And when that happens, I love it. Oh, I love that shit. I'm like, yeah, he gonna get you. Cause he might not be as soft as feminine. He might not have. See, that's where these motherfuckers finna find out. They about to find out. They're about to find out. They may not be as gracious as feminine. They may not have tapped into, they ain't softened up their feminine energies within them yet. When they get that pissed, see, they was already on fuckery because they was rolling with these motherfuckers. So they should know what they capable of. When they done, we got Rhonda here, got Sierra. When they get done, when they no longer care about the little blackmail and blackmailing, and bullying, when they get over all that and they get tired, good luck. Because feminine's got some softness to her due to, her being more feminine, and then also possibly being a mother. She has a little bit more of that. These men, no, they not. They gonna be like, nope, these people done fucked off my life with their foolery, their trickery shit. We all dying. We all finna lose, nigga. Everybody going to jail. Everybody ain't gonna have shit. Everybody, you'll be pissed. Everybody going to jail. Everybody reputation ruined. Everybody ain't gonna have shit. It's on. Since this is what we own, they done fucked off my life. Okay, I done lost opportunities. You know what I'm saying? I was stupid. Got my ass, on my mental illness or whatever the fuck I was. I'm done. I don't get no other chance with something that could have been real, that could have got me out of the mully grubs, out of the gunk and mire and that, in which is this karmic bullshit. I'm gonna get my ass, I'm up here getting karma and shit. Cause I done fucked around and joined Team Retard to do toxic shit to somebody who didn't deserve it. Yeah, I'm taking everything with me. Okay, whoa. Okay, so now let's get into it. They did all of that to make feminine look like she's under judgment. So I don't want to get into what happened. We already know the premise. The reading is already telling us they paid people to harass and do all sorts of crazy shit to make feminine look like she was under judgment, look crazy, look some kind of way, like she was getting karma, like she was under the judgment of the Lord. So we're not going to get into what they did. What we're going to get into is what's now the result, because something is changing. So we're going to get into what's coming out and coming to light and what these people's karma is. Okay, or should I say the ramification that is being executed by way of the judgment of Honorable Feminine and her co-creating Team Source Light energy. The judgment call that has been made and is finalized for the cruelty, the brutality, the greed. Every person's, each individual is getting something specific for their role. No one is exempt. Whoop. Some of their karma, it could be this, because this came out first. Karmics are being dumped and turned down. Okay. Whatever that's supposed to mean. This could be professional, friendships, lovers, turned down, dumped and turned down. Okay. And this could be a part of what they took out on feminine too. Remember, this stuff morphed into all kinds of things. The more these feminines worked hard on themselves, the more they overcame stuff, the more infuriated and frustrated these people, these groups, these organizations, these individuals became. Because the feminines were supposed to be somewhere under the freeway by now. Okay, shaking a can. They were supposed to be in a hospital somewhere, tied up, biting at the air. They were supposed to be either morbidly obese or anorexically skinny by now. Wrecked with some kind of poisonous disease because they actually paid people to do all sorts of things. Put them in contaminated environments, put shit in their water, put snakes in their doors, do all sorts of weird shit. And in this country, as side of the US, you know what I'm saying? All the bugs. I think this is the place where all bugs come from. I think this is where all the bugs origin in terms of in terms of the US. Cause I'm like, what kind of shit? The other day I was at this pet store and I came out and this was a fly, like a fly. Okay, it was a fly, a fly. What's known to us as a housefly. But to most of us, a housefly is of a certain size and a certain way. No, nigga. This fly was this tall and this big. My thumb. And I stopped as it landed. I stopped. I looked, I was like, what kind of shit? And it was some dude that was coming out with his kid. And they heard me and they stopped too. And they stopped and looked. I was like, what the hell? And then he looked, he was like, oh. He's like, mayfly? I said, fly? I was like, oh my God. I said, only in Texas. And we both chuckled and went our own way. I have a lot of statements that's gonna land with only in Texas at this point. Okay, let's get to the results. These people paid people to torture and harass and to make these honorable feminines look like they were crazy, look like they were under judgment, look like all sorts of shit. The spell work is working. They're under the judgment of the Lord. They're the karmic. They're getting, fruitless labor, love and wisdom. 32. Somebody could be 30 years old. Fertility and multiplicity. This is the fake feminine right here. That's a karmic woman, karmic feminine. Fruitless labor. Maybe they're gonna lose their productivity or their ability to produce, and something to do with their relationships is about to go down. Because it says love and wisdom, ingratitude, creation of all things. Yep. Maybe there's going to be somebody that realizes this person is selfish. They're just selfish. They're just greedy, and They're never happy. This is a part of why they get on these weirdo, you know, these weirdo projects, because it's like you can't find contentment. Nigga, bitch, don't, what? Because they can't find it. They're agents of chaos. They can't find it. They can have a man, and I'm just saying this for this reading. Y'all flip this as it were to fit. I'm only saying it because the lead energy is of a feminine, okay? And of a karmic feminine. Simply place it how you need to. Okay? But in this case, this could very well be a woman that it doesn't really even matter. She could have sucked and fucked her way into getting the man. Okay? She could have put blood in his sketty and everything her mama from Louisiana told her to do. Okay? She could have then paid her way into the relationship, bought the nigga, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the fuck. Catered to his insatiable desires. Did everything and get him. And for all intents and purposes, gets the relationship. Okay? Have the car, have the man, got the money, got the toys, got the vacations, got the, and they can't be happy. They can't be okay. It's always something else. Let's go steal something else. They can't fucking be happy. They can't be content. Unless they're doing something to somebody else. That's the only contentment, which is mental illness. That's mental illness. You can't be happy unless you're causing problems. Clemency, lust and weak wills. 32, we have 32, 32. 32, 32. These people could definitely be in their 30s. Something is being reflected back to them. They're going to experience their trash. Ooh, spell work, cheating. If they were attacking feminine's love life and making it seem like she was just undesirable and just bad luck and karmic and she was all these things, they're about to have something reflected for that fuckery here. They're about to be seen as what they said she was, in order to get people to be willing to do bad stuff to her or to leave her, and whatever the case may be. What's about to happen is people are about to see these very women as just that, as the very things that they went around claiming these women were. Karmic, crazy, under judgment, and getting bad karma, and toxic. Never satisfied, money hungry. Because these are all the projections they put on her. A slacker, looking for a get rich quick scheme off somebody else's back. These are all things. Scandal, that they're scandalous. Yep, that they hid their scandalous ways. 18. These secrets of theirs, they're about to have some conflicts to come out. 32, 32, 55. I know it doesn't equal 55, but when you add 3 and 2, that's 55. When you add 3 and 2, that's 55. That's about challenge, obstacles, change, chaos. Huh? Scandal. Justice, they're about to, oh, in the reverse, they're about to get that. This could even be the judicial system. Honey. The judicial system, because if they ask, had a, you know, a play and a hand in that, them too, nigga. Them too. Because who told them about the military tactics? Who told them about, you know what I'm saying, psychological, you know, voodoo? Who told them this shit? Where did they get it from? Mm-hmm. Ooh-wee. And this came out again. Creation of all things is going to reverse. They're about to lose with this 3, and then that Empress in the reverse over there, they're about to lose. They're about to lose. This is what's about to come out. This is going to also reveal, this is why they hid the fact with this moon energy and scandal. They hid it because they were stealing shit. They hid it. Taking shit from the collective, claiming that, you know, they're ungrateful. People really got loopy problems, big time. I don't know, they self-assign themselves grateful for what? For your cheating, lying ass? What? Child. Grateful for what? People try to act like, you know, these honorable feminines had some kind of silver platter. Ain't no damn silver platter. Please. They didn't have been fighting for their lives since they were in their mother's womb, literally. Please. And ever since they came out. No silver platter. If they had them jobs, they damn sure earned it, bitch. Ain't now motherfucker gave it to them. And it was because they sucked and fucked, manipulated and brown-nosed their ass into it. They earned that. Because people can give you 2s, but if you ain't got the goods, they can give you $200 all they want. You're done. They ain't give you, nigga. Anyway. Motivation. Okay. It says extreme opposites or opposing factions. Somebody in their 40s. 45. Okay. It's coming out that people were, you know, there's a scandal here. People are getting motivated behind maybe some of these honorable feminines. And some of this morphed into people being pissed. Okay. We did have people being dumped, being pissed about that. Okay. So then they start paying people to do more shit. How dare he leave me? How dare he cheat on me? Yeah, I know he was cheating on her because, you know, I was the one in his ear, you know. I was the one, you know, this was a plan in the first place. This was never supposed to be. This was our little scandal. This was our little come up. How dare he? Yeah, I know, but how dare he do this to thou me? People trip, huh? So you really thought that you was above the law. You thought that there are people, I swear, they think their pussy power is everything until they get sorely disappointed to find out it ain't. False testimony, they lied. There it is. It's supposed to come out, and this is somebody's family. Sagittarian energy here with 14. Moon energy here with the moon, so Piscean energy there. Okay, Virgo. Hierophant, High Priestess, Empress. These secrets, these practitioners. They lied about spell work. They lied about what was hidden here. This is going to come out. They lied, possibly in court with the judicial system here, because it says truth and justice is in the reverse. They lied in order to have something to turn in their favor. They called the collective a liar. So it's something that's going to be coming clear about somebody's family. And it could be to do with a Sagittarius. The false testimony. Anger, what they did out of anger. And with this number one, this is the magician energy. Somebody straight up lied about spell casting, being a part of these weird underground covens and participating in that. So they lied about being in a secret, but people got to wake up to understand. So you thought you can just ask the question and they were going to look you square in the eye and say, yeah, I'm in a part of this weird old Children of the Corn. And one of our first oaths is you are never to speak of it and you're never to admit it. But I'll go ahead and tell you because you're asking me and you're promising me that you're not going to say nothing. Are you special? Do you need a helmet? You got to learn how to think as if. You got to think as if something like this is really serious and really true, do you think for one iota of a second that they're just going to sit there and tell you? You know what they have at risk? They lied about trying to stress out these feminines. They lied. They said that the feminines were just angry. They lied about why the feminines were angry. Okay? And this is, liberation. Religious and general conflicts. I told you, the devil. 15, I told you what they were doing. So they were going to, these religious sectors. This is the judgment of the Lord. And they're lying about what they were doing in secret to their own family. And that they themselves are a part of some weirdo shit. And was angry because the collective liberated themselves from them. And all of a sudden, they want to be religified. They, nigga, bitch, please. All of a sudden, they saved and sanctified and delivered, bitch. Okay, you saved, all right, with your fraudulent ass. You saved, all right. By that Arconian God of yours. You saved, all right. You're just sitting there with a straight face knowing full well what the fuck you on. Convincing people that your torture of your own family members and involvement with paying people to do shit is some kind of hand of God. So then you all should be toast and dead a long time ago, you thieving whore. You and yours should have been lit on fire. If that's what you're trying to say, the life that you live, if on the premise of what they're saying, then they should be lit on fire. They should definitely not have shit. They ass should be under the freeway, then shaking some fucking tin can somewhere. If they know who they are. Some of them in here on some shit now and gonna get their ass whooped for good and plenty as soon as I'm done with this reading. Okay. What's happening with these people? Got obsessions here, conflict, chaos. Yeah, all this illusion, all these secrets here. It's coming out that these people were obsessed with these honorable women in secret, and they were hiding this. They were hiding, and they were hiding it well. And for some of you, this is just people who don't like your spirituality, and they took it upon themselves. You know, everybody's got a different motivation here, but the weaver, look at that. The magician, inspiration, rediscovery, transition. Yeah, people have been trying to, as the collective of feminines have been rediscovering themselves in transition. With these hands, you could be an energy worker or master of sorts, but these could be distorted practitioners or distorted people. Yeah. Communication, confidence. They don't like feminine's confidence. Yeah, so they decided to fuck with her head. Some of these people were doing skull magic, voice to skull, using sound, using light, all of the psychological warfare stuff that only those that are in government or certain sectors know about. She's competent. They don't like that shit. The brawler, lex talliens, lack of empathy and confrontation. These people lack empathy. Yeah, and attacking. Talons. Yeah, attacking. They could have even been doing shit to attack her hands, trying to poison, trying to get her to touch something. Because it's got hands and a bandage, is why I said that. Yeah. This is how desperate these hoes and niggas have been. Because their spell work in and of itself wasn't doing shit. So they had to amp it up and start having creepy weirdos to come up to their doors posts and they kid, you know, sprinkle, sprinkle. The shepherd. Who is this? Celebration family. Yep, it was family. Possibly the head of the family. Something to do with the Taurus. These people lacked empathy. And the dancer, self-expression, strength. They could have been clowning the... Look at this infinity. They could have even been copying shit because that's all they've been doing is sitting on a fat ass... stealing. That's all the fuck they've been doing. On a fat or they bony ass. Whichever end of that thing they on, nigga. Pathless. These people do not have a path. And so they're wanting to steal feminine's and interrupt hers. They don't have a path of their own. They're just consumers. They're just here to eat shit and fuck. Eat shit and fuck. And again, buy more shit, eat shit and fuck. Eat shit and fuck. Buy more shit, eat shit and fuck. That's their purpose. That's their path. And to steal others. It says difficult decisions, lack direction. They lack it. Okay? And they wanted it to be difficult for these feminines to be able to, so they brought in these disruptions, because if you do your own study and educate yourself and research certain things such as Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, okay, and in terms of the foundation of self-actualization, whatever you want to look at it as, but the premise is base, One cannot grow if the foundation is fucked. Safety and security and the basic needs is the foundation. Why they attack the foundation. Why they send destruction to the environment. Why they target residents in these various apartment complexes and managements and anybody who would sell their soul for a come up. Why? Why they're always trying to entrap somebody and get someone displaced on bogus, trumped up shit. It's for this reason. So this would disrupt their path and sense of directions and the decisions that they feel like they have to make. Case in point, let's make this basic. When you're faced with certain decisions on survival, which is what they are always attempting to get the target into, survival mode. They want them locked into that. So if you're in survival mode, your decisions, for the most part, okay, is geared to that because that's the foundation, priority. And that these people constructed this in the background to affect that, but to do it behind the scene to make it look like this was the judgment of the Lord. Ain't that some sicko shit? Ain't that some shit? The toxic, crazy, toxic killer nigga bitches want to make something look like the judgment of the Lord. The weirdos, the pedophiles, the molesters, the energy rapists, the incubuses, the succubuses, and Jezebels want to make something look like the abusers, taking advantage of disabled community, don't give two flying fucks about shit to do with nothing, but they got the audacity. Mental illness. Mental illness. Vengeance. I told you, this is vengeance. Vengeance. They got upset because these women had started overcoming these people's vengeance because people were doing stuff, been doing stuff, and these feminists kept overcoming. They healed, they overcome. They didn't care about the humiliation ritual. They didn't care about who didn't want to be with them. They didn't care, 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 they didn't care. They kept overcoming. It says overcoming slights, a choice. Feminine made a choice, said fuck it. Okay. Whatever. I'm out, because I don't even understand how this is vengeance. The reason why I don't want nothing to do with none of these people, they know why. They know what the truth is. I'm simply gonna be a non-factor. Bye-bye, baby, bye-bye. Some people got vengeance because, again, with the feminines, they could have spoken their truth about what they went through, what people did to them, or with this communication here. The sentinel. Yeah. It says determination and armor here. Yeah, feminists like, Now, your ancestors could be on a vengeance here because, again, all you've been doing was overcoming slights and people keep trying to tie you and weigh you down. So they are executing vengeance along with you, okay? Because it says armor, faith, the sentinel, vengeance, and the wise one. Dumbasses. Fucking retards. Yeah. These people kept trying to be puppet master. This is what this is, I'm telling you. This psychological shit, all this shit has been puppet master so they can get you out of character, so they can get you out there. Some of y'all done had people falsely accused of shit so bad because they want you to be this so badly. They want this. They want you to be a thief so badly. Yes, they do, because they a thieving nigga and a thieving bitch. They want you to be a thief so bad so it can be, oh my God, they got caught up stealing. We don't want shit here. And we don't even need to. Now swallow that. Sit on that for a minute. We don't need to. I'm going to say it again. We don't need to. Want it to be that so bad. Oh my God, no, you a thieving hoe. That's what you do. You a thieving nigga. That's what you do. That's what you do under pressure. We grew up since we were 17, honey. That's what you do. Want it so bad, get you in an altercation so they can be like, security. Security, I'm so scared. Right. Oh my God, this lady, this man, no, bitch, you following her. Nah, nigga, you following him, you're following her. But this is exactly the stuff that they do. They hire people to do this stuff, trying to get honorable feminines caught up. And it has to do with family, 14. And a part of what they've been able to skate by on is, we don't know where they're at. They're in another state. We haven't talked to them. Lying whores, lying whores and niggas. We don't know anything. The runaway in the reverse. Yeah, so they keep trying to entrap secrets, running from problems. They even claimed that that's what you were doing, but you were not. It says secrets. The secret is that that's what they are doing. This is going to come out. That whatever stories they've been trying to convince people that you're running away from problems, that you're a criminal, that basically all the things that they are. A criminal, a crook, trying to run away from their problems by way of trying to damage control, by way of trying to do away with you because you are the key to them being seen for what they are and to the truth about them. They're just running away from their problems. They're a criminal. No, we put ourselves in a witness protection from lunatics. We don't have time for America, the judicial system, the medical system, and anybody else to get a fucking clue. While our lives are impacted, but the spectators to sit back and so-called with a professional ass. Okay. Whoa. So what's about to happen is these people aren't going to be able to free themselves from this time. I don't know why. The Herald, small regrets, Inheritance. Ooh. Inheritance, correction, the guide, assassin. Mm. 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 Giving people money to torture. Ruthless. Everybody wants to be a star. Everybody wants a new car. All you gotta do is go to the ghetto and you'll find somebody, and sometimes the ghetto look like a nice apartment complex, but all you have to do is go to the ghetto or go somewhere where people got scarcity mindset and ain't got shit. And those who got shit in those places are scarcity mindset because they're greedy for more shit and they're hoarding shit. That's all you gotta do. And they'll be willing to. They don't care that this is a child or somebody childlike. They don't care that they're disabled. They don't care none of that. They don't care, they don't care, they don't care, which is why judgment is ruling as it is. They don't care. So as let it be reflected thus and thou. Mirror effect. Okay, very well. So let's fast forward. Child. What's gonna happen to these motherfuckers who paid people to torture the divine feminine, who offered them something, but whatever it is, whether it was money, monetary gain, car, whatever they offered to torture and harass the divine feminine. Karma. Kaboom. What's happening? I love it. Oh, it's crossing too. They nervous on this one. They wiggling. This could become like this because they wiggling, bitch. They're like, shit, they trying right now as I speak, bitch. Exposure. That's the lead. Awareness, finding out, coming to the light, realization. Hey, I don't have nothing to say no more. I'm like, just let it be, let it roll. Let's let this roll. Let it roll. Just let it happen. Let's let this thing play out. Nightlife, gamble, take a risk in Vegas. Vegas is about to get exposed. Exposure could be somebody in Vegas that's going to expose something, but it's definitely something to do with the nightlife and gambling, and somebody's supposed to take this risk and go ahead with it being paired. Somebody's supposed to see like a canary. Because it ain't going to get better for nobody. It ain't going to get better tomorrow. Cause your bunk ass should have fixed it there. Ain't gonna be better tomorrow. You got to clean up your shit. Ooh, toxic. Somebody is fencing to expose the toxicity, unhealthy behaviors in people. This is what's about to come, if it hasn't already. It could have already started for some of you. Okay? What was hidden. and how people was taking a risk to do toxic shit to these women and their children. Because they needed an Escalade, because they needed their bills paid, because they needed the charge dropped before Christmas. Somebody is going to be realizing like, this is toxic. This is toxic. Really, this is toxic. This is toxic. We can put this a nice little bow on it, and you can give it a special cool name. All you want, this is toxic. And this shit is going to come wrap around our asses. This is toxic. Somebody wanted their rent paid so that they can go shop. Yep, this is divinely, I shouldn't say divinely guided. Ancestors, benevolent energies is involved. This is being synchronized. This is going to happen if it hasn't already. If it hasn't already. There's notes being taken. Obsession is going into the reverse. There's going to be people who realize like, this is toxic. These are the people who's obsessed. The collective is not obsessed. The collective is not obsessed. This is toxic. Yeah. Anxiety, scared, and panicked. Yeah. Somebody could be watching on the phone right now because they keep trying to put the collective of feminines in this energy with all this weird, spooky children of the corn, single white female, fatal attraction, every possible movie pertaining to obsessed retards. Misery. It's like, yo, what's wrong with you? Huh? What's wrong with you? You're just not gonna ignore me, Dan. I'm gonna put dirty diapers. It ain't that deep. Shit. Apparently to these people it is, even if it means to ruin their lives. I have retaliation here. So people are gonna see who was toxic here. And if they were able to keep somebody in some kind of obsession with them, that's changing. This is going into the reverse. And people are going to see that because they couldn't keep collective in obsession, or they're blaming the collective because somebody is no longer in obsession, and it's going to become clear that these people are retaliating on these women and their children. It can possibly be, yeah, these women, their children, young adults with children in the reverse. Like, this is a serious thing. Like, they were seriously on that shit. And it ain't a game, and it ain't cute. They're trying to take them and their children out of here for money, and reaching out to people who was just barely surviving daily hustle. And then people get mad because of their hustle or whatever it is being interrupted. Maybe some of these relationships was they hustle. And since whatever happened, this person ain't digmatized or pussy whipped or whatever the case may be, they pissed about it because this guy interviewing the reverse. Yep. So somebody gonna stop talking because they realize that this person was doing retaliatory things for money. Yep, financial support. To scare people and do shit. Move in physical location for a house. A house, an apartment, like I told y'all, for rent. Or stole a house out of retaliation or something like that. Because somebody moved or something. So these people are going to end up struggling because they keep trying to retaliate. They keep paying people They're going to be exposed for it. Yeah, soulmate. Friendships, utilizing their friendships out of anger, going to their friends out of, yeah, getting them wrought up. Lying and shit. Yeah, they about to be pissed. Or a soulmate of yours, collective, is going to be pissed. I told you what's going to. Ooh. I did say some of them masculines. Just wait for it. Ooh-wee. Because if, I'm going to leave that alone. If they find out, if they get tired of this shit, and they find out that these motherfuckers have been torturing and tormenting you like this, they may not have no je ne sais quoi. They may be like, no, you done, nigga. You out, you and your people. You're done. Told you to leave this woman alone. Take your happy ass over there to the county office. Get the much needed pills. Told you. Oof. Yeah, that these people are just angry. They're going to be angry because people are going to be done with them forever. Okay? They're going to be exposed and the truth about why people are done with them forever with this realization of what they've been doing, which is torturing these divine feminines because they're angry. Because somebody don't desire them no more. A lot of people do that to these feminines because she don't, this is friendships too. This is lovers, friends. It be when she don't want nothing to do with people no more, but it also be when her exes don't want nothing to do with they people no more. Then you have all of that. Because then they be mad that they not fucking with them no more. Especially if you got a long-standing history with somebody. Okay? I'm just being real. If you have, I don't care if it's a toxic history, if you have a long-standing history where you always, they was pussy whipped on your ass. You know, there's stigmatized. Like if that's been the, and you can always, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, that ain't so. Or if this is people who are used to being able to get people there. And it's like an insult to their image that a person is not in that energy like everyone else. Like that's, to me, I'm sorry, that's mental illness. It's like, why do you care? If you all of that, then one person shouldn't even be mattering. If you got a whole harem of motherfuckers, shouldn't matter. You got your pick. It shouldn't matter. It's going to be evident here. This is a part of these people's karma, the exposure of it. Told you, triggers, name on a car, something to do with the car. Oh boy, for some this is either a car accident, a loss of a car, or some kind of legalities with if there's some kind of name on a vehicle, or somebody just letting a car go, or something like, yeah. And it's not a game. Maybe they think somebody's pretending, but pretending is in the reverse. It's not a game. It's not a tactic to lure somebody in and all of that. Yeah. Drama queen, I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it. With that lead feminine, toxic feminine over there with 30, fruitless, thirsty, causing chaos. Crazy. Yeah, the past happened in the reverse. No more repetitive cycles with this person because of the exposure here. No more. The reveal that they're toxic. that they're the real toxic ones and was doing the toxic shit to these honorable feminine, wanting to be seen in the feminine's light and one of these feminines to be seen in their light. And I promise you, when some of these men, when they get their head out their ass and out the head, out the ass and the pussies of these hoes, and they get their capacity, they deal with their own toxicity, they gonna be pissed. Because they are. They're gonna realize that it was the trick of all tricks of all time. They were bamboozled, hoodwinked, bamboozled, the same way they agreed to do these actual honorable feminines. But worse, because they're gonna realize the real trick was these people were the opposite. They were everything that they had them convinced that these honorable feminines were. That's why they're gonna be pissed. That's why. That they were hoodwinked. Like, God damn it, nigga, motherfucker. And now I ain't got a chance in hell with her. We all going down. We're all gonna fry. Because these bitches was everything they was trying to tell me that these women were. Getting me and my toxicity to play head fucking games and trap them up in my dizzy ass. My addicted ass, nose open. They gonna be mad. Oof. I wouldn't want to be near them. I would leave them alone. If any of y'all know who these men are, and if this is where they are by now, and you want it, run, because I wouldn't. Because they feel, it's almost the same energy of the karmics. The karmics get to that, I don't have nothing to lose, but some of them are in the energy of I don't have nothing to lose. They feel like their life is ruined. They feel like they know they got to get some of the karma because they participated in this shit. They were recruited. They were hired. They know what they did. So they feel like their life is over, or any chance, they feel like any chance of anything genuine, I should say, anything remotely similar to the essence of what they had and could have had. They know it. And so they pissed about that. And I gotta say, I don't really blame them. I kind of feel like the Samson vibe. Fell for the Delilah hoe. You know what I'm saying? Got his ass. You know what I'm saying? Portray his own motherfuckers and shit. Portray himself, portray his own motherfuckers. And then they whooped his ass across the whole little town, bitch. And then made a mockery of his ass. And in his death, he said, fuck it. You know what? You robbed me. You tricked me. You robbed me. You used me. You used my weakness. You used my ignorance. I take responsibility for my portion, and a part of me taking responsibility for my portion is I vow before I leave, I will kill every last one of you. Before I'm gone, nigga, we dying together. You heard me say it. We gonna die together for what you've done. We dying together. Oh, you smiling in delight now, but it ain't gonna be delight because you're coming down, nigga. You're coming down. We all gonna go up in flame. Yeah, drama queen, thirsty, causing chaos, has happened to reverse. This is inevitable right here. And it's going to be exposed that these people really went above and beyond because people didn't want nothing else to do with them anymore and stopped talking. Silence, non-action. And like when they got ghosted, these people wild out, feminine. You know, they should go to the school of the honorable feminine. You know, when people ghost you, isn't that funny? They ghost you. You know, when they decide, just play with that. They ghost you. They decide they need whatever they call it. Y'all can fancy this up however you want. And essentially, they stop talking until they want to talk to you again. And in some cases, if at all. And you handle it with je ne sais quoi. These people turn into full-fledged weirdos. Utilizing government shit and they positions and all this shit because a motherfucker, nigga. Tragedy, forbidden love. It's going to be revealed how these people was trying to create a tragedy for you. They kept trying to create tragedy. Yeah, running and avoiding. And these people aren't going to be able to run or avoid. It's going to come out that they wanted you stuck. Some of them was trying to play head games with this ghosting. But what's going to happen is these women, this drama queen is going to end up being ghosted. And it's going to come out that she's kept trying to trap, keep someone stuck, feminine or these men, because that they were both done or something like that. There's a done energy where people are learning. It's a completion, lesson learned. This ain't a bad card. This is somebody it says lesson learned. Okay? So they want to play with your emotions. They wanted to keep you in some emotional state with their fatal attraction energy and shit, with their weirdo, look at us, we're stalkers and shit. Look at us, you know, we see you, we watching, ooh, look, I'm walking, I'm right here, feminine, I'm right here, look at me. I see you, feminine, I'm putting dirty, shitty diapers on your patio, that's so you can know that I'm a psychotic. Because you know and I know that that wasn't an accident, and you know and I know that that wasn't the wind, and you know and I know and everybody knows it. It didn't flip off the top floor and inward to the under, bitch. Because that don't stick. You can say something slid off of a balcony onto a grass, but you can't say it jumped over into the other person's balcony or patio. That's a little, yeah. Well, a kid did it right. And if they did, it's because your dumb ass told them to. Which is sad. What an example these children have for parents and uncles and aunties and mothers and fathers and stepmothers and stepfathers, nieces. What an example do they have, huh? Teaching them how to be trash. Teaching them how to be stalkers and shit. Go outside, John. Where's your scooter, John? With the light on it? What's about to happen? Okay, they're about to be dealt with because I have watching you in the reverse. Something is about to put them in the reverse. It says spying on you, being sneaky, trying to see if you're with someone else. Gift. Maybe they're gonna stop because they know that you're gifted. Rejected, separation, homebody. Let me cook for you, give you. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Text, okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Clarify text message. Oh, somebody ain't gonna give somebody something. I got generous in the reverse. So, somebody may